In this video, we'll take a look at using AI in creating public policy. For a long time, policymakers have been using statistics to make informed decisions and craft public policy. Statistics provide empirical evidence that helps in understanding issues, predicting outcomes, evaluating the effectiveness of current policies, and shaping new policies. For example, during the COVID pandemic, policymakers relied on infection rates, hospitalization data, and mortality rates to understand the spread of the virus and its impact on different populations. This data then informed decisions on lockdowns, mask mandates, and vaccination campaigns. Or in economic policy, unemployment rates, inflation data, and GDP growth figures help policymakers understand the state of the economy. For instance, during a recession, high unemployment rates might prompt government intervention through stimulus packages or job creation programs. Statistics are integral to policymaking because they transform complex issues and raw data into information. This then acts as a solid foundation for decision-making. By analyzing and interpreting statistical data, policymakers can design, implement, and refine policies that address societal needs effectively. You can see the use of AI in public policy as a supercharged version of statistics. And since many types of public policy have become more and more complex and citizens tend to expect more from governments, it only makes sense that policymakers look for ways to do their jobs better and faster with the help of artificial intelligence. The main advantage of using AI is that it can process vast amounts of data from diverse sources much faster and more efficiently than traditional statistical methods. For example, using natural language processing, or NLP, you can analyze public opinion by processing large volumes of social media data or public comments on legislation. NLP tools can detect trends, sentiments, and emerging issues, providing real-time insights that are challenging to obtain through standard statistical methods. Secondly, even where statistics have been used in the past, such as predictive modeling, machine learning models can often make more accurate and faster predictions by learning from complex patterns in the data. For example, AI models can analyze various economic indicators, historical trends, and even global events to produce even more accurate economic forecasts. A third advantage is that AI can be used to automate certain processes. Some systems can make decisions nearly autonomously, which allows for real-time adaptation in some cases. AI-powered traffic management systems, for example, can monitor real-time traffic data and adjust signals, tolls, or even public transportation schedules to alleviate congestion. However, you can also automate or speed up internal processes. People often forget that, in practice, policymaking requires a lot of administration. It also requires a lot of reading, emails, meetings, and meetings that could have been emails, and so on. So generative AI is very good at making that side, the backstage, if you will, more efficient. You can use it to write emails, summarize reports, take notes during meetings, and brainstorm ideas. Of course, all of that good stuff comes with a few downsides. Let's talk about some of the challenges that come with the use of AI in public policy. The first is bias and discrimination. Many AI systems use historical data, and any bias or discrimination in that data will be reproduced in the system. Let's use predictive policing as an example. These systems are used to predict the probability of crime in a certain area and can proactively send law enforcement agents to that area. If the historical data used to train these systems is biased, such as reflecting over-policing in certain neighborhoods, this bias will be reproduced by the AI system. For example, if a neighborhood with a high minority population has historically seen more police presence and consequently more arrests, even for minor offenses, the AI system may predict that this area is a high crime zone, regardless of the actual crime rates. And once the AI system identifies these areas as high risk, law enforcement might send more people there, leading to more arrests and more data being collected from those same areas. This creates a feedback loop where the system continually reinforces and perpetuates the initial biases present in the historical data. Or if an AI system used to allocate government resources or social services is trained on biased data, it might unfairly prioritize certain groups over others. For instance, an AI system that determines eligibility for welfare benefits might inadvertently disadvantage minority populations if the data reflects historical biases in welfare distribution. Personal data is another issue. Many government AI systems use sensitive personal data collected from millions of citizens. This has its benefits, of course. For example, if a system detects that a specific area has more people with very specific health problems, more precisely targeted public health policy could be tailor-made for that area. One major problem is that these systems may have cybersecurity flaws and can get hacked, leading to people's personal information being exposed. AI is also by no means flawless. It gets things wrong all the time. It makes statistical errors and it may miscalculate things. Its outputs, in short, are never 100% accurate all of the time. And this is especially true for generative AI. It cannot determine if what it's saying is true, so fact-checking remains essential. These inaccuracies in any form of system can lead to serious personal harm. If an AI system is deployed at scale in, for example, hospitals to analyze medical images, any error can have devastating personal consequences. A lack of transparency in how systems work can also be a major issue. AI models, and particularly deep learning systems, can be complex and difficult to interpret, making it challenging for policymakers to really understand the rationale behind certain recommendations. And this brings me to my final point. If you don't know how a system works, it's much harder to control the impact that it has. You still need to exercise critical judgment if an AI predicts certain policy outcomes, for example. So you need to be able to interpret the results. What are they based on? What could have skewed these results? Also, automating certain processes inevitably shifts control towards the thing that's doing the automating and to the company that created it. And if AI systems created and trained by companies start making decisions for policymakers, are those decisions still democratically legitimate? These are all challenges we'll need to tackle as AI becomes more central to the public policy process.